So I quickly wanted to talk about, you know, much about um, economic plans. I just saw a video from the platform NG where there was a panel, and the moderator of the panel essentially was asking the same thing. 2007, we had Vision 2020. Um, After that, with Jonathan, Transformation Agenda, and then there was economic recovery and growth plan with Buhari. Now we have renewed hope agenda. These plans come and go, and this is at the national broad level. So every other person that works for the administration, whether at the national level or state governors, who may or may not be in the same party as the national leadership, also claim to connect to that one agenda, one vision. But what I observe or what I see is, basically people just pandering or people just making nice acronyms, just saying nice stuff and claiming there's a plan. But when you look at it deeply or you look at the content of what is being executed, you don't see the coherence. And really, that's the much about it. My own um, opinion or my reading of the whole thing is that it's just plans for planning's sake. Um, yeah, and also there are those who create acronyms. So you have ministers, governors, commissioners who just create these fine acronyms. 3MTT. I'm speaking particularly to the digital economy ministry under Bosun Tijani. You have this project bridge. When you break it down, you have you know um, extensive explanation of these nice sounding words. It's all planning. In the health ministry, you would have some acronym. At the state level, you have things like alive, and they just mix words together. At the end of the day, these things don't change the situation of people, and then the question becomes, so what was being done? Doesn't mean that nothing will be done. Roads will get built, and they'll tell you these roads being built are part of the grand plan for the economy to extend and grow in these lines. You just notice that the rewards are disproportionate for different people. So what, in my opinion, and in line with libertarian or Austro-libertarian theory, what we are doing really is subsidizing the economy for a number of people. It might be 10,000 people, it might be a million people, but it doesn't go round. It doesn't get to everybody. If you have taken taxes from pretty much everybody, those taxes get spent in a time frame of say 1 to 10 years. Some people gain more in that time frame than others would in the next 10 years. Some don't get at all before these things fizzle out. So the idea that we can plan, for everyone according to their needs is faulty. The proposition that the libertarian school, makes is that everything has to be decentralized. Maybe not everything, but most things that have to do with the market have to be decentralized. And some of these services you can, go as far as you know health, education, um, the energy sector. That's a chiefly um, private based industry, and then you can go into other areas, things like telecommunications. And if you look at the history of some countries, you would have found at some point in history countries that tried to nationalize these industries, and the results that we have seen from there is that they come back to the private sector because things are better managed by private people who have different motives, changing motives. So you cannot build a plan on a technology in 2008 that changes in 2 years, right? In the AI, shift right now. And some of the things that we are spending billions on based on plans from 3 years ago cannot connect in some industries anymore because the technology has moved. We don't know what hardware is being built in the electricity sector today, either in renewables or conventionals. So if you are planning, if your energy industry or your electricity industry is based on this central plan where everything falls back to government before it gets approved, or there is a blockade here because this does not look like that. If you don't let people make decisions in the nick of time, based on how they're feeling, based on what their partners are saying, based on how they are calculating risks and adjusting their markers, then you restrict them from making those innovative leaps, from taking those steps that may, you know, um, help the industry and by extension their customers in large ways. So everything, almost everything. I keep saying everything because there might be, sacred industries that you don't want to, leave to the market. But most things are better sorted in a free market without these grand plans that lead nowhere. Enough said.